Welcome to Gathered Makes. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to draw a rose. Start with an oval near the top of your page. This will form the inner part of your rose, and we'll need to erase some of it later, so be sure to sketch lightly. We're using a 2B pencil. Draw a small spiral at the top of your oval. Extend the lines of the spiral down to help define the more tightly curled petals in the middle. Draw a diagonal line to the left of the spiral to indicate a petal, curled tightly around the centre. Add a wavy line across the bottom of the spiral. Then add another edge-on overlapping petal on the left-hand side. Mirror this with another petal on the right-hand side and bring the end of the petal into the centre of the rose. Next, add a heart-shaped petal peeking out from behind the rose at the top. Give the rose dimension by following the curve round and to the back of the flower. This makes it appear that the petal is starting to unfurl towards you. Go over any of the lines if you want to make them clearer. Add in a short vertical line to indicate the edge of that petal. Keep building up the petals so they overlap each other, working first on one side and then on the other, bringing the ends in so they meet in the middle. Look at where the main shape of the rose is, that's the oval you drew at the start, and follow this shape as you add more of these inner petals. As you get further out, the petals get bigger and start to open up. Rose petals come in lots of different shapes, and it's very common to see them with a point or a slight dip at the tip. I find it easier to start with this point, then fill in the sides once I'm happy with the placement. This petal at the bottom is almost completely edge-on, but it helps to section the inner and outer parts of the rose. That's the inside of the rose done. Now we can go ahead and erase the parts of the oval that go through the petals. Add a small petal at the back to help balance the design. Draw a curved petal to the left that extends from the top of the rose all the way to the base. Add another large petal to the bottom right. Then, balance your design by adding another petal to the left. Add another large petal on the right-hand side. The sepal is the part of the flower that encloses the developing bud. As the flower blooms, the sepal folds down to resemble small, spiky leaves at the base of the bloom. Draw two small triangles at the base of the rose for the sepal. For the main stem, roughly sketch a line to the bottom of the page. Add 4 short, horizontal lines for the thorns on alternating sides. Use lines to plan out the position of the leaves. Use slightly curved lines and radiate the lines from a central point. to allow for the space to fill out the shapes around these initial construction lines. Roughly sketch out the shape of the leaves around these lines. Make them wider at the base and tapered towards the tip. This little part at the top is the bract, which is essentially a small, modified leaf. Once you're happy with the rough layout of your rose, go over the construction lines using a pen or pencil of your choice. I'm using a 0.5mm black fineliner on top of red pencil, so you can clearly see where I'm drawing. Just like when you were planning out the construction lines, start in the middle of the rose and work your way out. In the very centre, draw a tiny spiral. Extend the sepal and add a second line along the base to make it appear as though it's rolled up at the sides. Rose stems are very rarely perfectly straight, so as you're drawing the stem, angle it slightly towards the first set of leaves, then angle it slightly the other way towards the second set. The thorns are just simple spikes, curved slightly where they join onto the stem. Draw in the little bract, leaving the edge open where it meets the main stem. The leaf stalks are slightly bulbous where they meet the stem, so draw the base of these to be rounded. Add in the stalks and go over the central lines for the leaves. Draw in some simple leaf veins, following the curve of the leaf as you do so. Then, repeat for the other leaves. The edges of the leaves are jagged, so go over the shape of the leaves using a zigzagging motion. Angle the tips of the zigzags towards the tips of the leaves, tapering each leaf into a point. Do the same for the curled leaf, but keep the bottom line smooth. This helps to emphasise that we're seeing the leaf edge on. Then add the final veins to finish. If you want to see this rose tutorial in more detail, head to gather.how for the full project, as well as lots more daily inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe to the Gathered Makes YouTube channel. We love to see what you've been making, so be sure to tag us in your craft projects on social media. Goodbye for now.